Well, joining me live now is Angira Bharadwaj, the health reporter at the Daily Telegraph. His family is in Lucknow in northern India. Angira, thanks for your time. Can I ask how your family's doing?
Hi, Peter. Thanks so much. My family, it's been a rough couple of 24 hours. I think apart from just the physical toll of it, there's a lot of mental health concerns. My grandma's quite stressed. It's obviously really, really concerning when people all around you are passing away or catching COVID. So I think that's our biggest concern at the moment. We also got the news overnight that one of my mum's childhood friends passed away. She was in her early 50s, had no underlying health conditions, and even had her first COVID dose. So it's been a tough 24 hours, but we're optimistic that things will hopefully get better in the near future.
Are they scared, Angira? And you wouldn't blame them for being that way.
Yeah, they are scared. They're doing everything they can to just stay positive and everything that they can to keep COVID outside of their home. So both of my grandparents live in an apartment and they're just staying inside, not going out for anything at all. But of course, they're very, very scared. There's a lot of COVID out on the streets. It's extremely widespread, so there's a lot of uncertainty.
Had any of your family members been in that queue of 9,000 Australians trying to get here to Australia, Angira?
No, they haven't been trying to get into Australia. I think they've just accepted that right now it's just best for them to stay there, especially for my grandparents. I think it would be quite risky for two almost 80-year-olds to even get onto a flight and try to come here.
What about your thoughts on that move that the government made yesterday? Do you think that was a good move, or do you think there should have been some leniency on this?
I understand the government's decisions. Of course, it's disheartening for us sitting here to know that they're not able to come here. But I do understand COVID in India is extremely widespread. But I hope that for the Australians that are stranded there, I think there's about 8,000 of them, that we are able to bring them home soon. I know the Prime Minister said they'll be reviewing that on May 15th. So hopefully we can bring them home as soon as possible.
How did it get this bad? I mean, India was on top of it. And did such a great job in the early days, and now they are just getting defeated in a big, big way.
To be honest, I think we've seen this happen around the world, and it's why it's so important to realise that this can happen anywhere. We've seen second waves in the UK, the US, France, Italy. So I think it's unwise of us to think that this can't happen anywhere or this won't happen here. India is a very population-dense country. It's a landlocked country on three sides. So I guess if there was going to be a second wave, it was always going to be intense. And I think it's just a lesson to all of us to know that this can happen here as well.
We've been reporting this morning, and from our colleagues at Sky News UK, their reporters are in there at Delhi at the moment. We're seeing these pictures on the screen now, and you know, there's not enough time in the day to be able to burn the bodies properly. Apologies for being so graphic, but is that the messaging that you are getting from your family in India at the moment, that is just a fairly common sight?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my friends who lives in Gurgaon, which is near Delhi, was saying that it looks like it's out of a horror movie. Lucknow, which is where my grandparents live and up until now was among the hotspots, things have slowly started to improve there. My grandfather was saying that cases are slowly starting to go down and recovery rates are rising. So that's promising. But absolutely, a humanitarian and healthcare crisis of this level, I don't think any sort of healthcare system would be able to cope with that. And there's not a lot of dignity in dying right now in India. That's the worst part. You know, families aren't able to say goodbye to their loved ones in the way that they would normally in other circumstances. So that's the worst part. You're losing your family, but you're losing them in really heartbreaking circumstances.
Generally speaking, though, is there a feeling that this is going to get worse before it gets better?
I think people are staying optimistic, and I'm hopeful that things will get better, mostly because I've heard news around the world of, you know, countries really pouring in their help. It may take a little while to get there, and we may see a bit of a peak before that. But hopefully, just once those resources start to get streamlined, we will start to see an improvement.
Okay. Angira Bharadwaj, the health reporter at the Daily Telegraph, appreciate your time this morning and our thoughts with your family, and hope they are able to hold on.
Thanks so much,
Angira,
Peter.
thank you.